Eddie Ghabour of Key Advisors Group, the co-owner there, says you need more than insiders buying, encouraging as it is, to change the equation for your stock, particularly in retail these days. And Eddie, you're not very optimistic about retail, way beyond Bed Bath & Beyond, right?
That's exactly right, Neil. I mean, look, obviously insiders buying is one positive that you want to look for, but retail is probably the worst sector, in my opinion, to be in right now. The consumer is going to continue to get weaker over the coming months as inflation stays sticky, but if you look at the retail sector, inventories continue to rise. And now what's going to happen is they're going to have to bring prices down in the coming months as inventories continue to rise in an environment where the cost of business is really high. So it's going to be very difficult for them to make money in this type of environment as they have to bring prices down. So I think you could potentially see one of these retailers go out of business or consolidate in the next 6 to 8 months. So I'd be cautious here and wait and see what happens. But we are not touching retail right now.
You know what's wild about it too, Eddie, you knew the subject far better than I, is that even if you're inclined to go to stores and sort of check out the product, what's available, so much of it is not. I don't know whether that's a supply chain thing. I don't know whether it's a price thing, but even the stuff that people want, they can't get. What's going on?
Yeah, look, I mean, the supply chain issue obviously is disruptive to the retailers as well too. So it's been a perfect storm for the retail sector right now in regards to things that just aren't working to their advantage. And the other thing too that we watch is the debt markets. You know, you look at the high yield debt markets, and the cost of capital is getting wider and wider as those high yield spreads widen. So it's a very, very difficult environment for businesses right now, and some are tougher than others. And again, retail just happens to be, in my opinion, one of the toughest business to be in right now to make money.
I know all the attention this week as this two-day Prime Days sale led by Amazon. They're expecting to, get 17 billion bucks off it at a minimum. So they're the leader here. How do you see this week going for them?
So look, I think it's going to be a non-event. I think the bigger thing that this market is going to look at is the inflation data that's going to come in and how the Fed reacts to that. Because at the end of the day, I think that the Fed is going to be forced to continue to tighten during this slowdown, and that's ultimately going to hurt these sectors. It's also going to continue to compress consumer spending. And now with some of this real estate data starting to show some real problems there, the wealth effect becomes a real problem where, again, the consumers are going to start cutting costs, and that will affect all of the retailers. I don't care what sector they're in. It's going to affect them in a very, very negative way. So the environment, unfortunately, is going to continue to get a little bit more challenging before it gets better, in our opinion.
Yeah, great at what you do, Eddie. I just hope on this one you're wrong, but so far it does seem to be panning out as you say. Eddie Ghabour.